Hi friends, and welcome to Intention, where we focus on tarot card readings and other esoteric topics. But today we have a selected card reading for you for spring 2021. So this is a message from your higher self about information and some cues you need to hear as we head into the spring 2021 equinox. If you're new to selected card readings, I'll take a minute to just break down how this style of reading works. So today's message is going to arrive in one of four piles, either from group 1, group 2, group 3, or group 4. You can take a minute, pause the video if you need to, but select the pile that you feel most intuitively drawn towards. If you need some additional help selecting, I've also added some crystals to the piles. So group 1 has smoky quartz, group 2 has aragonite, group 3 has amethyst, and group 4 has malachite. Once you've selected the group that's right for you, we can move on to the readings, but before we do that, I just want to give a quick note that tarot is a tool that we use to help us think about our past, analyze where we are in the present, and look forward to what might be in our future. However, no one's path is ever set in stone, so if you hear something in the message that you don't like, there's always time to change it and adjust your destiny. You've got the power and the control is in your hands. To hear the reading for the group that you've selected, go to the description box and look for your group's timestamp to jump forward to that section of the video. If you enjoyed today's reading, please send some positive vibes back our way by clicking that like button, leaving us a comment, and subscribing to our channel so that you can join us for future tarot card readings. And with that, let's begin our selected card reading for spring 2021. Welcome Group 1 to your selected card reading for spring 2021. Before we begin any reading, I like to start by setting our intention. So to do that, let's all close our eyes, take a deep breath, prepare your heart for a positive message, and then when you're ready, open your eyes and we'll begin the reading. So we have the Two of Coins in reverse, the Eight of Swords, the Knight of Swords, the Nine of Wands, and the Emperor. So the Two of Coins in this reverse position really references you guys need to take some time for organization. So you might have been a little disheveled over the past couple of seasons, but since we're in the new spring equinox and we're headed into a new year for 2021, now is a great time to take stock of sort of where you are in your life. This can be organizational things that have to do with your work or your career, but it also could just mean in your personal life. Maybe you need to get your relationships organized again. But take this time in spring to really reflect on that, reflect how you can prepare yourself best to be successful for the seasons ahead, because right now is the perfect time to get out of that disorganized sort of slump that you guys might have been feeling you've been in so far. The Eight of Swords references things being in our path that are sort of blocking us from achieving our true potential. So this spring, if you find yourself coming into contact with things that are getting in your way and you feel like maybe they're preventing you from growing how you need to grow or getting the things you want in your life in general, that you have the power to remove those obstacles from your path at any time. So just like she here could pull up the swords at any point and get out of the cave, you've got to make the choice to get those obstacles out of your life when you're ready to move them. So this spring, make sure you're ready for that growth and take that chance and that opportunity to get those things in your life that need to sort of clear the path for yourself out of your own way. So the Knight of Swords in the center of the reading really grounds the whole kind of theme of this message in general. So he's charging into battle, he's going after the things that he wants. The swords often relate to communication or learning, so you guys may already be taking some college courses, thinking about some sort of higher learning scenario that you want to get involved in. So this card really represents that this spring could be the perfect time to embark on that sort of new adventure, especially if you've gotten yourself organized and you've kind of removed these obstacles that might be in your path. This is a great time to charge forward and really take a leap for that learning opportunity or just that growth of sort of knowledge that you might have been feeling previously that you wanted to do, but you hadn't yet had the courage or the ability to take that step forward. So go ahead this spring and make that change. The Nine of Wands reminds us to protect what's ours, and while we're compromising, to stay true to ourselves. So there might be some times this spring, because we are growing and expanding and sort of transforming our lives, there could be a time when you need to compromise with somebody else or with an organization or group. If you do that, just make sure that when you do, you stay true to the things that you truly believe in. So this card reminds us that sometimes those moments are important, but in that transformation and that compromise that you're having, you don't need to lose parts of yourself. So keep that in mind this spring if you guys make any kind of new partnerships or sort of new developments in your life that may sort of throw you off course. Keep in mind that those compromising moments need to be carefully thought out and need to still align with who you truly are, what you truly believe as a person. And the Emperor in the last position really represents a moment of authority, of leadership. So you guys are growing into sort of an ownership of your own life. And really this spring reading for you guys is all about taking those steps to get ready to grow. So you've gotten more organized, you've gotten the obstacles out of your path, you've maybe embarked on a new adventure, a new journey, maybe something to do with learning, education. So you're making all these tiny, small, sort of temporary steps to get a really big change out of it in the end. So spring's going to be really transformational for you. It's going to give you the opportunity to go ahead and sort of own who you're becoming. And all these minor arcana are really daily sort of temporary steps that are moving you along your path. But the result is going to be a permanent, really arching change in your life. And the Emperor is a great card that you guys are truly growing into your power this spring. So your group had smoky quartz as the stone, and this stone is really all about transforming negative energy to positive energy. So it really does reference that sort of positive change you guys are making over the course of the spring season. So it's going to be important to use the stone if you're doing any work with crystals or any meditation to really remind yourself that even though you're going through probably some difficult sort of metamorphosis style changes over the spring season, the outcome is going to be so positive and such a great growth moment for you all that you just need to remember that that transforming of energy is an important part of that process. The oracle card for your group was the healer. So this is an awesome card for this reading too, because the healer really reminds us that there's always that circle of life going on around us. The Ouroboros, much like the snake on this card, really references that sort of never-ending circle of life, the transformation and the changes. So it really does align perfectly with the cards in the reading for you guys, because you are going to go through that metamorphosis and that change, but there's going to be a healing element to it. There's always a positive sort of healing element to any transformation that you go through when you start it and end it within yourself. So just it's going to be important to remember that you guys need to take the time to really go through all the proper channels of that cycle and really make sure each step that you're taking along the way is totally complete so that you're able to move forward to that powerful place, the new kind of awakening you're going to have within yourself at the end of spring, having really accomplished the goals along the way to their fullest potential. So really getting totally organized, really moving the things out of your way that you need to move. All right, so I'm just going to get a few more cards here for the reading for you guys. So we're just going to shuffle, see if we can get any more messages for you to come up for spring 2021. So I'll cut here, and first we've got the spark of hustle. Well, that's a good one for this because there's going to be a little bit of work associated with any kind of transformation. So this is just a card to remind you guys that you are going to have to hustle, but the spark is there that you need to accomplish these goals. So you guys know that you're a little disorganized. You know there are things kind of in your way, but the spark of sort of what you need to do to transform those parts of your life, they're within you and they're a part of that work. So keep that in mind kind of as you're going through this, that even though it's going to be hard work, there's going to be some kind of changes to make, that you guys have the spark within yourselves to make sure the real work actually gets done. So let's cut for one more card here. We've got raw intention. Well, that's fantastic. So raw intention is really going to refer to having the right goals and the right mindset as you go through this process. So as we know, intention is 99.9% of everything that we do. So make sure that your intent when you're going through this process this spring is really the best for yourself, that you want those great things for yourself, that you want that transformation to happen in the end. And that's going to ensure that as you're taking these steps in the process, when you're getting more organized, when you're removing the kind of obstacles in your way, that you're keeping that in mind so that you get the true outcome you really deserve. So if I was going to sum up the general theme of the reading today for you guys, it's really all about transformation. You guys are going to go through a lot of great transformation this spring, a ton of good growth. So just keep in mind that your intentions about that growth need to be pure, that you need to be ready to take on that challenge, and you guys are going to have a really awesome and transformative spring. If you enjoyed today's reading, please send back some positive vibes our way by clicking that like button, leaving us a comment, and subscribing to our channel so that you can join us for future tarot readings. And with that, I'll see you in the next one. Welcome Group 2 to your Spring 2021 Select a Card reading. Before we begin any reading, I like to start by setting our intention. To do that, let's all close our eyes, take a deep breath, prepare your heart for a positive message, and then when you're ready, open your eyes and we'll begin the reading. So in your spread, we have the Emperor, the High Priestess, the Eight of Cups, the King of Wands in reverse, and the Three of Swords. So the Emperor on the end really represents maybe a new leadership position. So this spring, there may be an opportunity for you guys to grow into a leadership position, which could be in the company that you work in. It could also maybe be with your friend group. But either way, there's going to be some sort of way for you guys to show that you truly have that great leadership quality. So when you see the chance to take charge and sort of take the reins in a situation, go ahead and do it. Have faith in yourself that you're going to be able to be that great leader that you know you can be, because this spring, you're going to have the perfect chance to really show that, not only to yourself, but to everyone else too. Next to the Emperor, we have the High Priestess, and she really represents hidden truths or sort of secret knowledge that's being brought to the light. So this spring, there's going to be an opportunity for you guys to really make some interesting revelations, probably in the form of some news from someone that you least expected. So be on the lookout for some kind of secretive sort of information that a friend, a coworker, someone might be sharing with you that's going to totally catch you off guard this season. Next to her is going to be the Eight of Cups, and these cards are definitely related because they both have that kind of moon energy, not just only because of their proximity, and they really have a very similar color pattern. So I'm really getting a deep connection between these cards. So this card's all about moving away from something and getting on your new path. So because of the information or the secret that's going to be revealed to you, you might need to make a choice to sort of let something go and head off in a new direction. As you can see here, they worked pretty hard to kind of set these cups up in a particular order. But they've decided, you know what, that's not actually what I really needed. They didn't even finish it. They just set off on a new path. So that's a really interesting card, especially because it grounds the entire message here in the center. So that might be a really important decision that you make this spring about sort of where to head on that new path that could really shape the whole outcome of the season for you. But I really feel like it's going to be related definitely to that sort of secret that's going to be revealed to you. When we have the King of Wands in reverse like this, he really references impulsiveness and making decisions a little bit too quickly. So because it's so close to the Eight of Cups card, when you're making this decision about where to head out on that new path, make sure that you think it through very clearly. It doesn't mean that it necessarily is the wrong decision. I think it definitely is the right decision for you guys, especially because the Three of Swords is here at the end as well. But when you're making that decision, think through each part and portion of it really carefully so that you don't have that impulsiveness kind of ruin the true way you should set off in that direction. You might need to be just a little bit more careful as you're making that decision. The Three of Swords at the end really represents the end of a season, the end of something in your life, the beginning of something new. So this probably is linked directly to the Eight of Cups card about making that kind of new path for yourself. The Three of Swords really means that you're going to be leaving something behind when you do that. It's probably related as well to the secret that you learned from the High Priestess card, but make sure that you know that even though this is like a tougher card, maybe a more challenging situation to go through, it's for a positive reason. So setting off on this path is going to really be a great thing for you guys, not only this spring season, but also through the rest of 2021. But just make sure you know, even though it can be a little challenging, it's for a good outcome in the end. So the stone for your reading is aragonite, and this stone is all about providing you with confidence and balancing your energy. So this is a strength stone. It's a stone that gives you a good, nice foundation. So that's something you guys are going to need, I think, when you head out on this new path especially. It's something that you're going to need to look out for, is that really confidence and strength that's within yourself. The star formation of aragonite also references that power and that sort of confidence being released. So it's a stone to remind you that you have the power to make these transformative changes in your life. So this spring, if you're going to do any meditation or work with crystals, the aragonite is a great stone to consider. The oracle card for your reading is the Cave. And this is a great card for this reading because it's about personal internal transformation. So because you guys are going to have a lot of decisions that you're making based on especially some little bit of outside influence there from the High Priestess, it's really an important reminder that you can retreat within yourself to find the truth in the darkness. So the cave is somewhere you go sort of within your mind, within yourself, to make decisions where you know exactly what it is that you should do for your life. So it reminds us to retreat, and then once we're inside the cave, we can reveal to ourselves the true potential and the true answers that we're looking for. Now I'm going to shuffle for just a few more cards to get some additional information for you guys. So we'll add this into your spread. It's just looking, he kind of wanted to jump out, so let's see. You are magic. Well, that's a great card in general. So while you're going through this transformative sort of spring situation, especially since you're going to be making a new sort of decision about where you want to go directionally in your life, just remember that you're magic, that you've got the power within yourself to do some really great and amazing things. And spring's not going to be any exception to that rule. So keep that in mind as you're going through this process. I'm going to get one more card for you guys here. The last one is going to be balance. That's perfect, because when you make a change, it is all about balance. Just like the King of Wands in reverse wanted to make sure we weren't too hasty, balance is going to be really important in making sure that you're making these decisions with a balanced head and really weighing both sides of your options, especially as you decide to embark on that new path. Keep that balance card in mind. Keep in mind that you need to make sure there's a yin and a yang to the decisions that you make, so that you don't make anything too hasty and you don't go sort of in the wrong direction initially. So to sum up the general message of this reading for you guys today, really this spring it's going to be all about trusting your instinct. When you've got some revelations, especially because of some news that you guys might hear, or as you retreat into the cave to really decide where you're headed in the upcoming season and over the rest of the course of 2021, it's going to be all about trusting your instincts and knowing that you have the right answers within yourself. If you enjoyed today's reading, please make sure to send back some positive vibes our way by clicking that like button, leaving us a comment, and subscribing to our channel so that you can join us for future tarot readings. And with that, I'll see you in the next one. Welcome Group 3 to your Select a Card reading for Spring 2021. Before we begin any reading, I like to start by setting our intention. To do that, let's all close our eyes, take a deep breath, prepare your heart for a positive message, and then when you're ready, open your eyes and we'll begin the reading. So in your spread, we had the King of Wands in reverse, the Three of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the Eight of Swords, and also the Ten of Swords. So the King of Wands in reverse reminds us to not be too impulsive. He's also facing the other cards in the spread and is the initial card here on our left. So that really means that he's sort of filtering his message of sort of patience and less impulsive behavior through the rest of the cards in the reading. So as we go through what each of these mean, keep in mind that the King of Wands is probably going to be a filter for each of these messages about just taking our time and continuing to be patient as we relate that to what each of these cards mean for you guys this season. So the Three of Cups is all about celebrating with friends and about making connections. So I really feel like this spring there's going to be a lot of opportunity for you guys to celebrate with your friends and your loved ones. So make sure as you're having any big or small moments this season, celebration needs to be in the forefront of your minds. Even if you can't do it in person and you need to do it virtually over Zoom or whatever that situation might look like, make sure that you take the time to really celebrate all the moments that are important to you this season. The Knight of Cups references some sort of message. It's probably a message that you might have been waiting to hear. It could be from some of your friends, could be a message you've been waiting to hear from a loved one, but you're going to receive some sort of information that's coming to you that's going to be arriving right at the exact time that you need it. So the message that he's bringing might be something about love, about connection or friendship, so it likely also could be related to the celebration or the relationships that you have in your life. They're also both cup cards, so that also has to deal with water signs, so these could be related to someone with one of the water signs in your life. But you're going to get some great positive news and information that's also going to be another cause for you to celebrate. So it's just one more reason to sort of keep that celebration. It's really the theme of spring for you guys to keep it going. So the Eight of Swords is not necessarily a negative card, but it does mean that you guys have some things in your life maybe that are preventing you from your true potential. So if there are any obstacles in your life you encounter this spring, just remember that you have the power to remove those obstacles out of your way at any time. Another cause for celebration when you do that, because you guys are making big strides. So not just news to celebrate, but also actions to celebrate, because you're taking the steps this spring to get to your true potential. When you're removing those obstacles, though, we'll probably want to remember what the King of Wands had to say in the beginning of the reading, that don't be too impulsive. So be really careful and planful about how you remove those obstacles. Some of them could be a little bit sensitive, maybe more uncomfortable in nature, but once they're out of your way, you guys will be able to move forward in a new direction and a much more positive place for the rest of the year. So the Ten of Swords really references leaving something behind. So this is something that no longer serves you, something that doesn't quite fit in your life anymore. Could be related to the Eight of Swords, where you've removed some obstacles that may allow you to kind of move down a new path, somewhere that you really needed to go in the end anyway. It looks like kind of a scarier sort of card, but the message isn't really scary at all, because it's a positive thing where you can move away from things that are more negative in nature and towards something that works better for you in your life. Could also be related to the news that you're getting. Maybe the news you're receiving means that now you can do something different. If this was like a loved one that maybe you were waiting on them to tell you how much they cared about you, this might mean that you guys in your relationship in general can move in sort of a new direction. So either way, however this resonates with you, it really means that this spring is going to be transformative for you in terms of moving from one place in your life to another place. It's just another place, though, that we do need to reference the King of Wands in making sure we're not too impulsive, that we're really careful and planful as you're making that change. So the stone selected for your reading was the amethyst. This is a really beautiful one. So the amethyst stone is all about clarity. It's about cleansing, protection, purifying, and releasing sort of bad behaviors. So it does kind of reference sort of getting these obstacles out of your way, sort of moving in a new path away from something that no longer serves you. And it's a calming stone, which is an important thing to remember as you're moving through some of these bigger, more transformative moments. It's going to be important to remain calm and have that clarity that you need to really make the right decisions. So the oracle card for your reading was the heart, and this is a perfect one for this reading because the heart reminds us that the answers truly we're looking for are going to be within ourselves. So to move past kind of the traps of the world, sort of what other people might think or feel about us, and to focus on finding that inner peace and that strength when we're looking for it. So you really need to center all the decisions that you're making and the things you're doing this season within yourself. I can tell that there's probably going to be a lot of sort of celebrations, like we had said, and times with friends. But even when you're around other people in your life, make sure the decisions that you make are really your own, because the most important place you find the answers for what you're looking for, this season especially, is really going to be within your own self. All right, so now I'm going to shuffle for a few more additional cards. We're just going to look for some extra messages for you guys on spring 2021. So we'll see if we can just get a few more. So light in the unexpected. That's awesome, because you are going to have some sort of unexpected changes. I think maybe where you're headed here, especially after you get some of these things out of your way, you might not have known this is where you were going to end up this spring, but there's going to be light at the end of the tunnel. This is a really positive move for you guys. So sometimes when things, aren't exactly as they appear, sometimes we get a little scared, or we think maybe it's going to be more challenging than it really is. So this is just a reminder that there's going to be light at the end of the tunnel. So that's a perfect one. There's light in the unexpected. We'll just get one more card for you guys. So here we've got you, the muse. So that's important because, like I said, about external influences and other people kind of in your life, you are the most important person when you're coming to these decisions. That sort of references again, sort of back with the heart, and that you have the power within yourself to know what true decisions you should actually make. So you'll need to be looking within yourself for those answers and not to the people around you, because within yourself, as the heart sort of oracle card referenced for us, that's where you're going to find that truth. So to sum up the general feeling or overall sort of message from this particular reading for you guys, it's really going to be that you're going to have lots of time to celebrate this spring, but you're going to have some tough decisions and choices to make. But in the end, the light's going to be at the end of the tunnel, and you guys are moving in such an awesome and positive place for the rest of the year that this spring is going to really set you guys up for some true success in 2021. If you enjoyed today's reading, please send back some positive vibes our way by clicking that like button, leaving us a comment, and subscribing to our channel so that you can join us for future tarot readings. And with that, I'll see you in the next one. Group 4, thank you so much for joining us for today's Select a Card reading for Spring 2021. Before we begin any reading, I like to start by setting our intention, so let's all close our eyes, take a deep breath, prepare your heart for a positive message, and then when you're ready, open your eyes and we'll begin the reading. So we have Death in reverse, the Seven of Cups, Temperance in reverse, the Ace of Coins in reverse, and then the Queen of Coins. So right off the bat, the death card in reverse is really letting me know that you guys are stopping yourself from a little bit of growth. So this could be growth in your career, growth in your personal life, just growth in general. But for some reason, there's something that's stopping you guys from living up to your true potential. So this spring, make sure to try to turn that upside down card right side up, because the death card is really a positive one. So it's about moving in a new direction. It's about that cycle of life, ending something that maybe wasn't working before and moving on to something new. So this is an opportunity for growth that you guys need to have, especially because the spring season is all about blooming and becoming sort of who you truly are meant to be. So don't let this death card kind of stand in your way. Make sure as you're moving through the spring season that you find those opportunities to challenge yourself about growth and you take those chances. So with the Seven of Cups, we've got a lot of choices ahead of you this spring. So it looks like there might be several different things that are competing for your attention, and you might need to choose a single one. So that could be several opportunities maybe in your career where you guys have different paths you can go down, but you need to choose a particular one. Could be in your dating life. If you're single, this might be several different people that you're interested in, but you need to choose one to sort of make a more permanent relationship with. So whenever this season you're presented with that opportunity to really make a firm decision, even though you've got a ton of options, make sure that you make a decision that's right for you. If you look within yourself, look within your heart, you'll be able to find the right decision. And the death card over here might actually sort of be a little bit related to the Seven of Cups, because some of these decisions you need to make might actually be about growth. So if that's the case, just remember that you do need to find a choice and sort of make that new path in order to get yourself out of the situation where you're kind of in your own way as far as growth is concerned. So Temperance in reverse is about self-reflection. So this is a card of sort of patience and carefulness, even in its upright position. But when it's reversed like this, especially because it's sort of grounding the whole reading in general by being in the center, it means that you need to reflect within yourself as you're moving through the whole spring season. So when you're making this decision, reflect within yourself, because you know that you need to sort of get that growth that you've been denying yourself. The answers are inside you. So really take the time to do a lot of self-reflection this spring. It's a great time to sort of get yourself organized, not just in your own home or your house, but also within yourself, making sure that you take the time for that good self-reflection to make sure you're moving in the right direction. The Ace of Coins in reverse can sometimes reference sort of being too hasty on a new venture, sort of going after something too quickly. So Temperance next to it is a perfect card to kind of relate back to it, because you do need to be patient. It doesn't mean that something is going to go wrong. It just means that as you're making some changes this spring, some new opportunities that may be coming up, maybe even related to the decision that you're going to make here with the Seven of Cups, do it carefully and make sure you're very planful, because that's the way you're going to get the true rewards you're looking for. Because here at the end, we've got the Queen of Coins. So she's all about owning her power. She's finally got the harvest, kind of the good results of the hard work that she's done. So that might be related to a new career venture, something new sort of that you're going to start. Could also be if career is resonating for you with this, which I kind of feel like now it's sort of taking us that direction. You guys might be making a decision for a new career path or some growth that you want to get. So as long as you're really planful about that, there's a ton of financial and good successful results you guys are going to reap as a result of the hard work and of making that change, of kind of getting out of your way for the growth and moving forward in a really positive direction. You guys are going to have an awesome end to spring and get some really great opportunities and results ahead. So the stone for your reading was malachite. And this is a beautiful malachite stone. So malachite is all about creativity and strength, you having the confidence that you need to move forward, finding the abundance that you're looking for. So it also kind of reminds me of the Queen of Coins and sort of reaping the harvest of your hard work. It's a reminder that you've got this, that you can do and accomplish all the things that you need. So really, if you're meditating this spring or looking for a stone or a crystal to do some healing work with, the malachite might be the perfect one for you. So the oracle card for your reading is the Mask. And the mask is a perfect one because in this particular instance especially, it's less about concealing your identity, but more about finding out who you truly are by trying on different masks. So you can think about this kind of like in theater. You're trying on different parts, you're playing different roles, because one of them is going to be the perfect one for you. So the mask just means that you need to take the time to really figure that out. It probably is sort of this multi-option situation. If the career path kind of portion of the message is resonating with you in particular, it might be that you need to sort of lightly try on some of these different directions you could go in to know which one it is you need to head for. But regardless, make sure that you use this opportunity to really expand yourself and try to play the role that it is that you want in the end. The mask really allows us to reveal the truths about ourselves. So if you give yourself the time to discover who that really is, you're going to have a really great end to the spring season. All right, now I'm just going to shuffle for a few additional cards. So we'll see if we can just get a couple more pieces of information for this reading for you guys for spring 2021. So the first card is going to be Limitations Inspire Innovations. And you've been doing that. So you guys have been limiting yourself because you've been kind of preventing yourself from getting that growth that you know you deserve and need. So don't ever let the limitations get in your way. Let them inspire you to truly go after the things that you're looking for. Because now that you guys know you've been kind of in your own head, in your way about it, you can just get out of your way. And that means that you're going to get heading towards, kind of more of where you actually need to be. All right, and we'll get one more card. So this one's going to be Fierce Serenity. So that's an interesting one for this reading because Fierce Serenity really deals with maintaining your peace while you're doing something really powerful and sometimes challenging. So because you're going to be kind of setting off in this new sort of direction based on the decisions that you've made here with the Seven of Cups, just remember there's power in having a peace about that. Taking your time, being really careful, being extra planful. There's sort of something really fierce about being so serene. So to kind of just sum up the overall message of this reading for you guys, I think it's really about allowing yourself the opportunity for growth because you guys have been sort of in your head and in your way for a while, and there's a lot of opportunities ahead for you, different things you can accomplish, some great success if you just simply get out of your way. So for me, this reading for you guys, spring 2021, keep in mind that that growth is important and that you guys have the power. You can do it. You're capable of so much more, that the limitations you put on yourself can kind of inspire you to become who you're truly meant to be. And if you enjoyed today's reading, please send some positive vibes back our way by clicking that like button, leaving us a comment, and subscribing to our channel so you can join us for future tarot readings. And with that, I'll see you in the next one.